Hey there, and welcome to the Totally First Crochet channel. My name's Thomas, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make what I call the perfect bag strap. Here you can see how it looks. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? And it's actually pretty on both sides. I was absolutely amazed when I found out how to make this kind of a bag strap. And of course, it wasn't a surprise when I discovered that this is actually Tunisian crochet, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Here you have it with color changes, and here you have it with a variegated yarn. I mean, isn't this absolutely adorable and beautiful? I'm obsessed with it, so of course I wanted to incorporate this in some projects, and there are two bag projects coming up in the upcoming weeks, but I definitely wanted to give this beautiful technique the space that it deserves with a little technique tutorial, so I can show you, of course, how to make such beautiful bag straps. If you have been around on my channel for a while, then you probably know that I absolutely love mixing regular crochet with Tunisian crochet, and especially Tunisian crochet for bag straps or handles. And here's a great example of a Tunisian crochet bag strap that I used for my granny square phone bags. And it's basically 3 or 4, I think it was 4 or even 5 stitches, and then it was like Tunisian single crochet all along until I had the length. And the awesome thing about it is that once you like stretch it a little bit, then it rolls up like a cord, and I think it's super pretty. Here's another example that I used for my Eckard bag, and here I used the Eckard stitch also for the strap, and the same effect. It rolled up and it looks absolutely beautiful, especially also with the variegated yarn, and I love how comfy they are, and in addition, they are super easy to make, and you can do this without even knowing what Tunisian crochet is. You can use a regular crochet hook, and making these goes so much faster than regular crochet, and they are much more sturdy, they are less stretchy, which makes them the perfect choice to make a bag strap. So maybe when you have planned to make yourself a new bag, summer is like the season of bags, in my opinion, then why not add this kind of a beautiful strap to it? And it will look absolutely beautiful. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to start. As you can see, this is the beginning of the strap, and I will do it like I had it here with 10 stitches, and I will also show you how to change the color and how to sew in the yarn ends after changing it. And then of course I will show you how to finish your strap, and then you can attach it to your projects either in a way that it like plays with the angular shape of it, or you just wrap it over and then sew it together here, so you have a little hole here to like put a D-ring or something in there, or you get yourself some of those stoppers and holders just as a regular strap, or you make yourself a beautiful belt. That's also optional. Or you can also use it to make a headband and then just knot it together in the end, and you have like these beautiful endings and beginnings. The possibilities are endless, but let me just show you how to make this. So as I mentioned, I'm using a regular crochet hook, and I'm actually going to use one with a soft grip, and I only need this front part, and in this front part I can stack up to at least 12 stitches. Of course, you can use a straight crochet hook, depending on how wide you want your strap to be, but usually you just need like a little space for it. If you're familiar with Tunisian crochet and you do have Tunisian crochet hooks, you can use them as well, of course. I'm going to use a crochet hook that fits to the size of my yarn. So the yarn that I mostly use for my bag straps and bag projects is of course cotton. I'm using rainbow cotton or French cotton from Hobby, 8/6 quality, but you can use a thinner one, a bigger one. And here they say 3 to 3.5 millimeter and the 4 millimeter. I could do it easily with 3 to 3.5. The smaller the hook size, the more dense it's going to be and stiff, and but just try it out. Usually I just use the same hook size that I used for the rest of my project. That always worked well. So that's a bit different to regular Tunisian crochet projects where you would always size up the hook to get like a softer feel in the fabric. Here I'm just going to use the same hook size that I used for the rest of my project. And then, of course, to sew in the yarn ends, you would need a yarn needle and, of course, something to cut it off. And for the second color, I'm going to use this lavender. On camera, it looks a bit bluish, but it's actually a lavender. But let's just start. And I will do it with the regular crochet hook. So you don't have to buy yourself a Tunisian crochet hook if you don't want to, but of course, if you love Tunisian crochet, then of course get some. I start with an I-cord. You can of course start with a chain, but I think the I-cord is easier and it gives a pretty nice edge or beginning. And if you're new to the I-cord method, here it goes. You leave a longer tail to the side, then you wrap it around from the front. Then you take the yarn that goes to your yarn ball or yarn skein and wrap it around from the back. And then you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you pull that last loop through the 2 loops on the hook. And this is how you made your first I-cord element. And then again, the yarn from the side, you wrap it over from the front, and then the yarn that goes to your yarn skein, wrap it around from the back. If you're a bit more familiar with this I-cord beginning, then at some point you know how to hold the yarn and then can make your beginning chains so much more faster and easier. And in addition, you get beautiful stitches to work in. I have no idea how many I made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to take out 1. But the stitch count is completely up to you. You can make your strap as wide as you want to have it. I also think you can use the same tutorial with a chunky yarn and a bigger Tunisian crochet hook to make like a beautiful scarf out of it. That's possible as well. And now we already have our first loop on the hook, which is of course awesome. So no turning and finding back loops. We can then just turn and we have the beautiful stitches right in front of us, and the first loop is already there. So in the first round, we are just going to pick up our loops, and for that we go into the second stitch, yarn over and pull it through. Then we go to the third stitch, yarn over, pull it through. Then in the fourth, and we do this until we are at the end. Here we go. Now I have the 10 loops on my hook, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And as you can see, it doesn't matter if it's like pressed all a bit together on this small space. It doesn't hurt the final result at all. And now for the return pass, and this is the same for all rounds that we are going to do. And this is also a bit different to regular Tunisian crochet, where you would just yarn over and pull through 1 and then go through 2. We are already going always through 2. So you yarn over and then you pull through the next 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 all the way until we reach the beginning. And now, as you can see, you're getting vertical bars, and in between the vertical bars there are also horizontal bars, where you will also have one in the front and one in the back. I just say this because now we are not only going to use those vertical bars here in the front, we are also going to use those front horizontal bars. But of course, I'll show you. First up, we chain 1. So this is now the same for all the upcoming round, and this will also create the angular shape. Chain 1 first, then we go in this very first horizontal bar right here, and if you go like from the lower part, like right from here, going up, we take the first vertical bar, and then we already push up to also take the front of those horizontal bars. So you push the hook through the 2 loops, one horizontal, one vertical, and then you yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Then we go to the next vertical bar, you go in there, and then you also grab the next horizontal bar. And then in the next, first the vertical bar and then the horizontal bar. If you have made a few rounds, you can put yourself on autopilot, because you will always get like both of those loops just by pushing the hook from below upwards. And again. And another one. And here's one. And in the end of the round, or in the end of the row, you don't have another single vertical bar and a horizontal bar. So in that case, we are just going through both of those vertical bars in the front, like that. We ignore the one in the back. Usually when we do Tunisian crochet, you would always try to like go into this border stitch. Here we just take the 2 vertical bars and then yarn over and pull it through. And now let's count. It should be 10 again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. And now we can go back the same way like we did it before. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way and then again chain 1. As you can see, it already gets the angle. So let me show you another round, because the repeats are all the same from now on. So after the chain 1, you go directly in the front of the previous round, and then you push your hook up to also grab the front horizontal bar, yarn over and pull through both of them. And then we go to the next vertical bar, push your hook up, grab the horizontal one, yarn over and pull through. And do this all the way. And here was our last horizontal bar, and that means we are at the end of the round. And then we take both of those vertical bars. So you push the hook in from the side, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, all the way until we reach the beginning to basically start over again. And I will make a few more rounds to show you, and then I will also show you how to change the color. So again, chain 1 to start, and then you go from the side under both of those bars, and then all along, always the vertical first and then the horizontal, vertical, horizontal, always yarning over and pulling the new loop through. And when there are no more horizontal bars, go from the side, pick up those last two vertical bars, yarn over and pull through two. And once you made a few rounds, it will look like this. Here's the front, here's the back, equally pretty. I absolutely love both sides. And it's always good to have like both sides usable, because if you use it as a strap, of course, it will turn here and there. And then when the back side looks a bit ugly, that's always like a big no for me. So this is absolutely perfect. It rolls up a little bit. I mean, you can use this as a garland, as decoration for parties as well. I mean, this looks quite interesting as well. But if you then like roll it around a little bit, then it gets like pretty much all straight, and you can easily use it as a bag strap. And now I already cut my yarn. It's because now I'm going to show you how to change the color. So I'm going to use this lavender color that looks a bit blue on camera. And once you finished the round and you want to change the color, you just place the next color over your hook like that. At some point it makes sense to like drag on the previous colored yarn a little bit, but you don't really have to. You can leave both of the yarn ends behind. And now we just continue as we did it before. We go from the side and pick up the first vertical bar and then the first horizontal bar, and we go along. Again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, yarn over, and we just do the same thing like we did it with the first color. That is absolutely all right. And at the end, you can also drag on the second color a little bit in case it was pushed out too much. Then yarn over, and we just continue with the new color with our beautiful back strap pattern. And usually I think it's easier to, at some point, once you made like 2 rounds over it, or over the color change, to sew in those yarn ends quickly. If you make a design like I had it here with like multiple color changes coming in different sizes, then in the end you would have like so many yarn ends hanging out. So I think it's just easier and more convenient to work them in quickly. And I usually start with my latest color. So I'm going to place the yarn end on the yarn needle, and then I will just go in this first line of the new color, and I will just go under all those vertical bars where we also worked the other stitches in, like that. And then I just pull it through, but gently. You don't want to pull it too tight. And then I leave it, and I do the same thing now with the yarn end in the previous color. And again, where the yarn comes out, that's exactly where I'm going to push it back in. And I'm always going to go underneath those vertical bars in the front. You can also go a little bit down if you want to, but just keep it in that space and always go through those last two, and then just pull it through again gently, just until it's in. And now I have them on the other side. If you know where you sewed them in, you will always see that there are two lines, but overall it doesn't change the height, it doesn't really change the thickness, and it doesn't even do anything in the bag. So that is absolutely awesome to sew in those yarn ends. And now all I do is just cut them off, and they are gone. If you watch at the back, you will always see like this little line that's still visible, so it's not completely seamless. In the front, I think it looks pretty nice as a transition, and in the back you have like this little accentuated line. Personally, I don't mind it at all. I think it just makes it a little bit more special as well, and just for you to know that there is something visible in the back, but in the front it looks pretty awesome. And from there you can just continue, chain one, push the hook from the side through those two bars, and go all along. If you do it like me, sitting on the couch watching TV or hearing what what happens on TV, then you can make those rounds super fast, and you will have a longer strap in absolutely no time, which is of course absolutely awesome, and especially when you get like such a beautiful result like we have it here. And to finish this technique tutorial, this Tunisian crochet tutorial, I'm going to show you how to finish it. First up, we chain one again, and then we go from the side in the stitch, yarn over, pull it through, and then slip stitch, then again in the next bar, yarn over, pull it through, and slip stitch, and in the next yarn over, pull it through, slip stitch, and you do this all the way across. And here's our last, again in those two vertical bars, and then one last slip stitch, cut the yarn, pull it through, and here you have the ending, and even the ending has a beautiful line as a border. Absolutely perfect. And I think this is going to be my new favorite strap. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little Tunisian crochet technique video. It's not a full project tutorial, but watch out for the 2 bag tutorials that are coming in the upcoming weeks. And until then, have fun trying out this beautiful technique to make yourself such gorgeous bag straps. And if you have made something with them, make sure to take a picture and post it under my community tab. I always love to see what you're doing with my tips and tricks and techniques. So until then, happy Tunisian crocheting, and I hope to see you back again very soon. Bye.